Hello everyone, I'm Metis Balaska and welcome to the stream. So, last time, we were attacked by Castor. And then a new servant came in and just destroyed her. So now he's our problem. And he appears to know Saber, and we learned Saber's circumstances, that she's actually not quite a servant in the traditional sense yet. So, yeah, we got that on our hands. So, without further ado, let us get to the game. I wake up alone. Even if she is recovered, Saber still needs to sleep on occasion. The moment we return to our room, Saber immediately falls asleep. I went to bed as well, if only to make her feel better. That was about an hour ago. It's past midnight. I should be able to get out of the house without Saber or Tosaka noticing at this hour. I sneak outside, trying not to make a sound. I thought of using the bike, but I'd just run the risk of waking them up. So I walk. There's not a single person outside. It's late, but the silence is still eerie. The air is frozen, and there doesn't seem to be any sign of life in the buildings. On the other hand, it feels like something dark and sinister is swirling at my feet. Did something happen to the town while Ilya had me prisoner? It's like a bad omen hangs over the entire place. This isn't my imagination. I look up towards the mountain in the distance. Kyoto Temple, which stands at a distance away from town, only looks like a black lump from here. But it looks like it's swaying in the night air, rumbling and throbbing. I cross the dark river and walk into Shinto. So it's been 10 days. On that day, the night I met Saber for the first time and then walked across this bridge with Tosaka, seems so long ago. I see the church. I've never been here before. I may have said as much to Tosaka, but I did have a connection with the church. If things had gone differently, I would have ended up under the care of the church, and then being adopted by some family later on. It would have been better, it would have been either the Amiya family or that church. One hell of a fork in the road. 10 years ago, all the kids in that hospital were orphans. The church took them all in, at least temporarily. I was the one in that group of orphans to be adopted from the hospital. I was the only one. That's probably why. I've been unconsciously avoiding the church out of guilt. It's also why, 11 days ago, I told Tosaka it was my first time going into the church. The lights inside the church are on. I don't really like that priest, but there are things I need to ask him. Okay, let's go. I take a deep breath and put my hand on the heavy church doors. Father Kotomine, are you here? I step inside as I call out for him. There's nobody in the chapel. The lights are on, but this vast space is so quiet, I find myself more nervous than if it were dark. Hey, is anyone here? There's no reply. I can't keep going in I can't keep going and further, so I might give up tonight. I whirl around when I hear a sound from behind me. The suddenness of his appearance leaves me speechless. Katamine sounds bored and turns back to the door he came through. Oh, hold on. And I came here to ask you something. As Katamine says so, he opens the door to the back of the church. Katamine doesn't bother asking my opinion. He just disappears into the back of the church. I've come this far. I can't go home empty-handed. I steel myself, determined not to let Katamine intimidate me this time, and head toward the back of the church. I just noticed I still have my email all up. Whoa, the outside's impressive, but the inside is pretty intricate too. This must be a courtyard. The garden and passageways are too magnificent for Katamine to live here alone. The priestess appears around yet another corner. Damn, he's not waiting for me. I complain to myself as I chase after Katamine. The church is a small labyrinth, so I don't have any choice but to follow Katamine. We enter a modest stone chamber. The simple room, far from the elegance of that chapel and courtyard, must be Father Katamine's private room. The priest makes his apology as he plops down onto the sofa. I smell the faint aroma of what might be wine. For the smell to linger in this room, he must really like wine. Nobody's standing around like a fool. I was just looking around because this room seemed weird. I'm going to go home as soon as I finish my business here. This priest really gets on my nerves. I feel like he's reading my mind, and whenever I try to deal with him directly, I just get intimidated. Don't lie, you know all along. You knew my old man was Saber's master, and that the Holy Grail was destroyed. You're the overseer here to manage the Holy Grail, so you can't not know. Yeah, I heard that's how the last Holy Grail War ended. The priest falls silent, contemplating something.
サーバントが前回の記憶を受け継いでいるというのは異常だ。セイバーは故障しているのか。何せよ、通常のサーバントとは言えないな。英霊は記憶など持たない。過去、現在、未来、いかなる時代にも呼び出される連中に記憶があっては矛盾が生じる。奴らにあるものは生前の記録だけだ。死後英霊となってからの出来事は一切記憶されないはずだ。
He ponders this, as if he still isn't convinced. I get it. Katamine doesn't know Saber hasn't fully become a heroic spirit, so he can't truly understand the situation. That's not what's going on. Saber's circumstances are different from other servants.
事情が違う？なるほど。わざわざ訪れた要件はそれか。いいだろう。話してみろ。
His haughty attitude pisses me off, but I don't have the time to deal with that too. I don't like it, but this man might be able to give me a clear explanation. It seems Saber isn't dead yet. Her contract to become a heroic spirit isn't complete. It appears she wished for the Holy Grail just as she was dying, and she agreed to become a heroic spirit as the price for obtaining it. So she's not completely dead. She won't die until she obtains the Holy Grail, and that's when she'll become a servant in the normal sense.
死んでいない。では、セーバーはまだ輪廻の枠にとどまっているということか。他の英霊のように時間から外れたわけではないと。
That face. Yeah, I think that's what it means. Tosaka said Saber's basically being carved out of time.
そうか。英霊のようにことが済めば消えるのではなく、聖杯を手に入れるまでは英霊として駆り出されるということか。だが、あれは未だ聖杯を手に入れていないため、失敗するたびに死の直前にいる自身に戻ってしまう。そうして前回の記憶を持ったまま、今回も呼び出された。わざわざ死ぬために聖杯を求めるとは、英雄というのはわからんな。そうして手に入れたところで、待っているのはサーバントとして刺激されることだけだろうに。
Right. If she gets the Holy Grail and her wish granted, she'll just become another servant. I don't like that. Besides, what are servants? You say you use heroic spirits like familiars, but are there contradictory heroic it's like Saber?
さあ、そのあたりのシステムなど知らんよ。魂の永続。その秘宝を真似て作られたのがサーバントシステムだ。こればかりは立案者であった当時の人間しか知るまい。
The permanence of the soul?
いや、もともとはそういうものだっただけという話だ。
I haven't been keeping up to date. My OS is still horribly out of date. I've got holes in my firewall everywhere.
関係のないことだ。忘れろ。
Give me a bit.
それでエミヤしろ。つまるところ、お前はあのセーバーをサーバントではなくしたいというのだ。
Is that what I want? I do think Saber's situation is messed up. Aiming for the Holy Grail is all well and good, but afterwards the only thing awaiting her is her disappearance. Even if someone other than King Arthur is chosen as king, and then King Arthur ceases to exist on our history, the Hero King Arthur will continue to be used by who knows how many others, and that seems wrong to me. So if she can stop being a servant and just live a normal life.
それは不可能だ。死者は蘇らない。いかに時間に止まっていようと、私たちにとってセーバーは死んだものだ。彼女を現世に呼び出しているのは聖杯の力であり、彼女が英霊になる交換条件を飲んだからだろう。聖杯を求めない彼女はサーバントとして召喚されることはない。そして聖杯を求める以上、遅かれ早かれ彼女は完全なサーバントになるだろう。たとえ今回が失敗に終わっても、彼女にはチャンスなど無限にある。セイバーは未だ時間軸にとどまっているため、聖杯を手に入れる機会を同時に行えるというわけでもないし、一度失敗した試練をやり直すということもできない。一度失敗した試練は何度やり直そうと失敗する。結果を体験しているからといって決定した結果は変えられないからな。だがそれでも聖杯を手に入れるのは時間の問題だろう。聖杯を手に入れる機会はこの聖杯戦争だけではない。聖杯に関する試練はあらゆる時代に存在する。その全てをしらみつぶしに続けていけば、いずれ聖杯は手に入れられる。そもそも彼女は結果として聖杯を手に入れるからこそ英霊として召喚されているのだ。お前のセーバーをサーバントでなくす方法など、あれがお前の前に現れた時点で存在しまい。
I knew it. As long as Saber seeks the Holy Grail, there's no way she can avoid becoming a servant. She will stay like this forever unless she decides to use the Holy Grail for herself. Even if this Holy Grail ends, there's no need to fight, and there's no need to fight anyone. If she doesn't obtain the Holy Grail, she just has to try again next time. The moment she obtains it, she turns into the so-called heroic spirit and is sent all across time. So whether she obtains the Holy Grail or not, she'll remain a servant forever?
いや、そうとは限らんだろう。聖杯が本当に万能の杯であるのなら、セーバーを救うことはできる。
Eh? But you just said that was impossible.
なあ、セーバーをサーバントでなくすのは不可能だ。だがお前が望んでいるのは、セーバーを人としてこの世にとどまらせることだろう。
All you have to do is completely violate her agency and desires.
ならば、そう難しいことではない。聖杯戦争が終わった後、サーバントを人として生かすこともできる。もっとも、死んでしまえば死の直前にいる彼女に戻ることになるが。
How do I do that?
英霊とサーバントは似て非なるものということだ。通常英霊として召喚される者には意志などない。連中はただ 目的を果たすためだけの道具として召喚され消え去っていく。だがサーバントは別だ。あれは聖杯によって呼び出された本体だからな。それならば世界に留めておくだけで人として生きていこう。
Can you do something like that? Saber said the Holy Grail disappeared the moment it was destroyed last time. Without the Holy Grail, I thought servants can't stay.
無論だ。サーバントを呼び出すのは聖杯であり、その後に彼らを維持させるのがマスターの役割だ。だがそれも聖杯がマスターの後押しをしているからでね。本来魔術師一人程度の魔力ではサーバントを維持できない。聖杯という強大な魔力提供源がなければサーバントは消えてしまう。
I figured, then...
いや、足りないのなら補えばいいだけの話だろう。サーバントにとって魔力提供など代償行為に過ぎない。連中の本質は魂食いだ。存在濃度が薄れ始めたのなら他人の魂で補充すればよい。
Is he telling me to attack random people like Shinji did? The hell? I can't let her do that. Anyway, Saber wouldn't want to remain here if that's what she had to do it.
そうか。ならば、あとは聖杯の中身を使うしかあるまい。簡単な話だ。お前が真実セーバーを人として生かしたいのなら、聖杯をセーバーに飲ませればいい。
Boy, howdy! Does this sound like honest advice and not the trappings of someone dripping honey into your ear? He must have anticipated my resistance. The look on his face tells me that this is the conclusion he wanted me to reach this whole time. Are you telling me to grant my wish using the Holy Grail?
いや、それはお前の願いとは関係がない。聖杯の中身はそういうものだ。
We just have to have her chug it like it's a beer drinking contest.
リンから聞かなかったか。サーバントは杯に満ちた水を飲むことによって現世で2度目の生を授けられるのだと。もっともそれはこの時代の使い魔として立場を確立したに過ぎぬがな。肉体は依然サーバントのままだが、マスターさえ存命ならばこの世界にとどまれるようになる。
But that means that's no solution. Even if she were able to stay in this world, it would be pointless if she's still a servant. She wouldn't be able to exist without magical energy from her master, and even if she managed to live in this world for a long time, she'd just go back to that hill after her death. Saber would never agree to such a thing. She doesn't care about a second life. She insists she's going to use the Holy Grail for something else. But then again, does the Holy Grail, the key to all of this, even still exist in this world? I've heard enough. Basically, you're telling me to get the Holy Grail. But does the Holy Grail even exist? If my old man destroyed it, wouldn't it? If the Holy Grail doesn't exist, then there's no reason to fight. This ridiculous fight to the death is pointless.
戦う理由はないか。何を今さら。元より君に理由などない。
He says that, and time seems to just stop. There's no reason to fight. He told me that before. I just become a master, and I didn't have much of a reason to fight. So at the time, what he said didn't sink in. I just ignored him, thinking he was being sarcastic. But what now? But what about now? There's a reason for me to fight. If there's a holy grail, I want to end this war, and if it's possible, I want to give the grail to Saber. There is a reason for me to fight, and a perfectly good one at that. But why? Why do those simple words make me shake so much? I feel like I'm about to vomit up everything I've held in for so long. A voice shatters the stillness that had locked up. A voice shatters the stillness that had locked up my thoughts. It's the voice of a man I don't want to hear. But that voice at least settles the wave of nausea I feel creeping up on me. Huh? Someone will prepare another one? Is the Holy Grail easy to make? What the hell? Einsburn, is that Elia's family?
そうだ。アインツベルンはラインの黄金とやらの伝承に長けていてな。こと、聖杯の模造品を作る技術は神業だった。だが、それだけでは聖杯を呼び出すことはできない。ふさわしい土地と強力な呪縛が必要となる。それらを提供したのが遠坂とマキリだ。当時教会と魔術協会は係争の真っ最中だったからな。儀式には教会の目が届かない極東の地が選ばれた。アインツベルンはそれを見越して遠坂を仲間に引き入れたのだろう。遠坂はここ一帯の霊地の持ち主であり、その死は高霊術の対価だった。 アインツベルンとしては遠さかなくして聖杯召喚は不可能だった。だが二つの家だけでは容易に裏切りが起きてしまう。ことは三すくみにすべきだと考えたのか。遠坂はマキリの家系にもこの話を持ち込んだ。マキリも長い年月を持つ名門でな。こと使い魔に関しては優れた技法を持っていた。サーバントを縛る霊樹を作り上げたのもマキリだ。そうして連中は聖杯召喚に一致団結したわけだが、いざ成功してみれば残ったのは潰し合いだ。一度目の聖杯の降霊は連中が戦っている間に終わってしまったらしいな。そうして代を重ね、聖杯戦争というルールを作り、形だけは元の協力関係に戻った。遠坂はこの土地とサーバントを形作るシステムを提供し、マキリはサーバントを縛る霊樹を提供した。そしてアインツベルンは聖杯が宿る器を用意する。それらが彼らの敷いた協力関係というわけだ。
I'm not sure what's so amusing about this, but the priest seems to enjoy telling me about it. But I see. They say the Holy Grail War is a ritual, but I didn't know Ilya and Tosaka's families were the ones who created the whole thing.
聖杯を用意したのはアインツベルンだからな。前回キリツグに裏切られた彼らは最強の切り札を投入してきた。おそらくアインツベルンの娘が聖杯を持っているのだろう。
Huh? Ilya holds the Holy Grail? That's weird. I don't think I saw anything among her belongings that looked like the Holy Grail.
さて、これで気は済んだか。お前が何を悩むのかは私には知り得ない。だが解決する手段は聖杯のみだ。それが分かったのなら早々に帰るがいい。戦いはまだ終わっていない。セーバーもつけずに出歩くのは正気の沙汰ではないぞ。
Yeah, it is pretty stupid, let's be honest. That's none of your business. I'm aware Lancer's master is still around. Hold on. There's one more thing I need to ask. Kotamine, servants disappear once the Holy Grail disappears. That's what you said, right?
言ったが、何か問題でも。
Yeah, big time. I don't know who it was, but there was an 8th servant. According to Saber, he'd been in this world since the previous war. I can see that he's shocked. Kotamini's eyes go wide. What's going on, Kotamine? I came here thinking you might know something about this.
消えなかったサーバントがいるということだな。そう不思議ではあるまい。前回の戦いはセーバーが聖杯を破壊することで終わったのだ。つまりセーバーの他にもう一人サーバントは残っていた。セイバーは潔く消えたが、そのサーバントが限界することを望んだのなら話はたやすい。それは魂を食らうことで魔力を補い、この10年間生き続けたのだろう。
That's impossible. The servant was frighteningly powerful. If someone like that hung around for 10 years, someone like you or my old man would have detected them.
わかっている。おそらくかくまっている者がいたのだろう。そのサーバントのマスターか、もしくは。
Or what?
聖杯戦争を知りながらマスターの資格を持ち得なかった魔術師だ。そういった人物には一人心当たりがあるのだが、それもないな。 マキリのご老体はとうに隠居している。
Kotamine must be satisfied as he gets up from the sofa.
話はここまでだ。今の話を聞いては監督役として放ってはおけん。そのサーバントに関しては私が調べよう。お前は残るランサーとの戦いに専念するがいい。
Kotamine heads to the exit, indicating there is nothing else to discuss. There's definitely nothing more to be gained by staying here. I follow Kotamine out of the dark stone room. From there, he leads me to the entrance in silence. I leave the church, and behind me...
聖杯を手に入れればセーバーは死ぬ。その意味が分かっているのだろうな、エミヤシロ。
The priest puts that to me, maybe to make certain I remember. He watches me from the door with a condescending twist to his lips. Saber will die if she obtains the Holy Grail. I don't need anyone to remind me of that. Saber's goal is to obtain the Holy Grail only, but she doesn't want its power for herself. And as long as she obtains the Holy Grail, nothing will bind Saber anymore. She will be freed from coming back to the point right before her death, and she will truly die. Why the sudden change of heart? You're not one to give warnings like that.
なに、お前がセーバーに肩入れしている様は喜ばしいのでな。私なりの行為として忠告しているのだよ。
Yeah, sure.
聖杯を手に入れてしまえばセーバーは消える。彼女と共にいたいのならば、聖杯は諦めるべきだろうと。
That doesn't make sense. I can't keep Saber here without the Holy Grail.
聖杯に頼ることはあるまい。先ほどのサーバントの話もある。セーバーを存命させたいのなら、魂を与え続ければいいだけではないか。
He is really trying to go hard brainwashing us, isn't he? Screw you, I won't allow that. I glare at the priest.
そうか。それは残念だ。
My glare has no effect on him. He just laughs in amusement.
ならば、聖杯の中身に期待するしかないな。お前のサーバントが望まないにしても、レイジを一つ残しておけばそれでいい。お前の望みはそれでかな。
You know, violating her agency and all that. He's saying, it doesn't matter if Saber doesn't want it. If I'm her master, I just need to force her to drink the Holy Grail using the power of the command. Drink from the Holy Grail using the power of the command spell.
おや、失言だったか。そう睨むな。あくまで今のは忠告に過ぎぬ。ま、セイバーの意志を尊重するのもよかろう。彼女の人生だ。我々が口を出す権利はない。例のサーバントに関しては明日中に調べ上げよう。気が向いたのならもう一度訪れるがいい。
The church doors close. I glance up at the towering church before I turn to leave. I cross the bridge at night. This is the path I once walked with Saber. I was just looking at the scenery, not thinking about anything at the time.
聖杯を手に入れればセーバーは死ぬ。その意味が分かっているのだろうな、エミヤシロ。
I know. I don't need him to tell me that. But why is everything so complicated? Saber shouldn't obtain the Holy Grail, but the only thing that can save her is the Holy Grail.
彼女と共にいたいのならば聖杯は諦めるべきだろう。それでも存命させたいのなら彼女に魂を与え続ければいい。
I can't do that. And even if I asked her to do that, she would refuse. She would choose to disappear if that were the alternative. She would disappear, and then she'll have to do another Holy Grail war all over again.
ならばレイジを一つ残しておけばそれでいい。お前の望みはそれで叶う。
Ah, shut up! Kotomine's words are poison. I can't get rid of them. In a rage, I smash my fist against the nearby rail, desperately hoping to clear my mind by breaking my hand. I hear an echoing metallic clang. There's no other sound. Not so much as a car or another person passing by. Damn, why am I getting all worked up? I lean against the rail, grumbling to myself. I know I should just ignore Kotomine, but there's just some sort of power to his words. I can't ignore them. What do I want to do what am I fighting for? In the beginning, it was stopping the Holy Grail War. But when did that become secondary? Did it happen when I started to stubbornly fight on my own? Did it happen when I realized how helpless I am and I started cooperating with Saber? Or did it happen when I made a sword for her after our souls was entwined that night in the ruins? No, that's all nonsense. I don't need to think about it. Since the beginning. My mind's been made up since I met her in the shed. The sight of her, illuminated by the moonlight. That would have been fine. Had I not shared that dream of her past, and so, had I not shared that dream of her past, and so not known any better, it would have been over without me even noticing. But I did find out. I knew I couldn't leave her alone, and I started to hope I could somehow not lose her. I wished to stay this way. I want to keep seeing her smile. Ow. The image of the girl watching the sunset alone on the hill, strewn with swords. My chest hurts whenever I think of that scene. Or maybe it could just be the hole in my chest. Could be that, you know. She never took any time for herself. That always bothered me. Kuretsugu always said not to make a girl cry. I much prefer her smiling to her tears. That's why I was so angry Saber never smiled. But then, when I told her to smile, she always replied that she would rather see me smile. That's like looking at an unreachable star through a telescope. Damn. I look up at the night sky. I stare up at the corridor I could never reach. A trickle. I stare up at the star, not corridor. What the fuck was I saying? I don't know how it formed, but I feel a tear slide down my cheek. A tear. I love her. I say it to nobody. As dense as I may be, I have to at least admit how I feel. I can't stop this feeling anymore. I realize I've fallen in love with her, So much that that thinking about her can bring me to tears. I hear Tosaka's voice as I arrive. She's standing at the entrance. Tosaka, why are you... I heard your footsteps a mile away. She grabbed my hand and, without waiting for me to reply, drags me to the hall. And she brings me to her room. She's awkward about it, but she's still being considerate. Yeah, thanks. Honestly, the hot tea is comforting. It took me a good hour to walk home from the neighboring town. I walked slowly, so I was cold to the bone. How did you... Again, you weren't subtle about it. As usual, she doesn't beat it around the bush. I get it. Tosaka must have known I was going to do what I was going to do from the very beginning. But she didn't stop me. She just waited for me to come home, and now she's even made me tea. I feel like a new man. Now that my mind is made up, I appreciate Tosaka's thoughtfulness. Which is probably why I say, yeah, I went. There was something I wanted to ask him about. I don't hide anything. I'm honest with her. Yeah, it wasn't a fruitful conversation anyway. I just wanted to check with him about the current situation. Yeah, and Saber didn't have to end up as a servant. She nods in agreement. Eh? Archer? You mean you're Archer? Huh? Why would he be worried about Saber? I thought he hated Saber. Oh, really? But Saber said she didn't recognize Archer. You know, if you go that route, the possibilities are endless. If you can't remember someone's face, that's as good as not knowing them. We'll get to that. Tosaka's unusually chatty tonight. It's probably her way of trying to be considerate. Maybe not particularly effective, but Tosaka is a good person. She's usually pretty relentless, but she still lends a helping hand. She's got the kind of big sister thing going on. We drink tea for a few more minutes. Tosaka turns and looks straight at me. Guess she has run out of patience. I'm going to take her on a date tomorrow. That sounds fun. Wait, what? I can't think of anything else. It's a spur of a moment, an idea I came up with on my walk back home. But then, I don't know where the somber mood from earlier went, but because Tosaka makes the most bizarre face. She bursts out into uncontrollable laughter. Damn, I'm so dumb. I should have seen this coming. Shut up! What's wrong with me being selfish? I know this is not the time for it, but I'm not going to let you get in our way. Tosaka slaps my back hard. She holds her stomach with her one hand, laughing so hard. Now she's nearly in tears. I think this is the worst she's ever treated me. Well, I'm happy for you. None of that was funny to me. Tosaka says that kindly, doing a complete about-face from a second ago. Yeah, I'll try my best. Honestly, that came out of left field. When she says it like that, all I can do is nod.